Hello guys! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the latest twists filled with urgent decisions, shifting strategies, and heartfelt pleas for clarity in Port Charles. Let's start with the mounting tension surrounding Lucas Jones, who's finally reaching his breaking point and deciding it's time to step up. At the bustling halls of General Hospital, Lucas pulls aside his trusted confidant, Felicia Jones, for a much-needed heart-to-heart. He confesses that he's done turning a blind eye to the chaos swirling around him, particularly the lingering grudge he harbors against Sonny Corinthos for the shocking kidnapping of Marco Rios. Imagine the frustration building inside Lucas as he recalls how Sonny's iron grip has endangered not just strangers, but his own circle of family and friends, weaving a web of fear and loyalty that's impossible to escape. He's poured out his concerns to his sister Carly Spencer countless times, begging her to stop defending the notorious mobster and see the damage he's causing. But her excuses only fuel his resolve. Felicia, with her sharp intuition and history of navigating Port Charles' underbelly, listens intently and offers sage advice, perhaps drawing from her own past experiences with dangerous figures. Could this conversation spark a bold new plan for Lucas? Maybe he'll consider gathering evidence or rallying allies to challenge Sonny's influence, all while weighing the risks to his medical career and personal safety. As they talk, the hospital's sterile lights cast long shadows, mirroring the dark secrets Lucas is determined to confront, setting the stage for a potential showdown that could ripple through the entire community. Shifting gears to the sun-drenched Metro Court pool, where young schemers Emma Scorpio Drake and Gio Palmieri are hatching a daring scheme that's equal parts clever and chaotic. Emma, ever the resourceful one, has cleverly swiped Vaughn's master facility key during a hilarious mishap involving Outback the dog, who bounded onto Vaughn's chaise lounge in a frenzy of wagging tails and playful barks, creating the perfect distraction. With this key in hand, Emma outlines her audacious plot to infiltrate Professor Henry Dalton's secretive lab, hoping to uncover whatever mysteries lie hidden within its high-tech confines. But she's not one to rush in blindly. She insists on calling in reinforcements, and as Outback lets out another enthusiastic woof, the question hangs in the air: is this loyal pup about to become an unlikely hero in their adventure? Or will Gio step up as the primary backup? Picture the scene. The poolside chatter fades as they whisper their strategy, the scent of sunscreen mixing with the thrill of rebellion. Emma might even add a new layer to the plan, like timing their break-in during a quiet night shift or using disguises borrowed from the hospital's costume closet, all to outsmart any security measures Dalton has in place. Gio, with his street-smart edge, could suggest looping in a tech-savvy friend for gadget support, turning this into a full-fledged operation that tests their friendship and courage in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, in a quieter corner of Port Charles, Christina Corinthos Davis is grappling with fresh waves of confusion as she demands answers from her mother, Alexis Davis. The air is thick with concern as Christina probes, "What happened?" A question that echoes the recent traumas that have appended their lives. Little Emily Scout Kane, still reeling from the emotional whirlwind of the past few days, clings to the safety of Christina and Alexis's home, her wide eyes reflecting the bewilderment of a child caught in adult storms. There's no chance of her returning to Drew Kane anytime soon, not after the explosive revelations that derailed what was supposed to be a joyous wedding. Willow Tate's bombshell confession about hidden truths and fractured relationships has left everyone shell-shocked, forcing Christina to process layers of betrayal while supporting Scout through her fears. Alexis, already juggling overflowing docket of legal battles to fend off the relentless pursuits of Rick Lansing and the cunning Ava Jerome, sighs wearily. Perhaps what happened is better phrased as what fresh disaster now. To flesh this out, imagine Alexis sharing a quiet moment with Christina over herbal tea, recounting how Scout's nightmares have kept them up at night, or how they've improvised bedtime stories to soothe her, blending fairy tales with gentle explanations of family complexities. Christina might even propose involving a child therapist from General Hospital, adding a new dimension of care to their makeshift sanctuary, all while bracing for whatever new curveballs the Davis family drama might throw their way. Over at the WSB field office, Jocelyn, Jax, and Vaughn find themselves in a high-stakes briefing with the enigmatic Jack Brennan, where their entire operation takes a dramatic pivot. No longer is Professor Dalton's lab the bullseye. The mission has evolved, redirecting their focus to unraveling deeper connections. This shift stems from the baffling saga of the tracker Jocelyn planted on Courier Greta's badge had vanished without a trace before mysteriously resurfacing, hinting at sophisticated interference. Intelligence points to Greta's journey toward Dubrovnik, Croatia, where she briefly slipped off the radar, likely making contact with shadowy figures in the coastal city. Brennan, with his authoritative presence and maps sprawled across the table, instructs them to zero in on whoever Greta rendezvoused with, possibly a key player in a larger international intrigue. Jocelyn, her determination shining through, might suggest deploying drones for surveillance or tapping into local informants she's connected with from past adventures, while Vaughn adds his expertise in cryptography to decode any intercepted messages. The room buzzes with tension as they brainstorm contingencies, like blending into Dubrovnik's vibrant tourist scene disguised as vacationers, or even coordinating with Interpol allies for backup. This change not only heightens the danger, but also tests their partnership, as personal stakes, Jocelyn's family ties, and Vaughn's mysterious backstory intertwine with the mission's global implications. In another heated exchange, Sonny Corinthos faces a direct confrontation about his recent antics, responding with a defensive what behavior that only underscores his denial. Speculation swirls that acting district attorney Justine Turner could be the one applying pressure, her no-nonsense approach clashing with Sonny's empire-building tactics. This grilling might tie back to Lucas's earlier chat with Felicia, amplifying the fallout from Sonny's bold power move against Jens Sidwell. Sonny had orchestrated a calculated play to force Sidwell's retreat from the piers, protecting his territory after the villain endangered Kristen, though he slyly pinned the blame on Selena was networked to cover his tracks. Inventing a fresh angle, perhaps the confrontation unfolds in Sonny's dimly lit penthouse, with the accuser presenting dossiers of evidence, including witness statements from dock workers who overheard threats. Sonny, ever the strategist, might counter by highlighting how his actions safeguarded the city from greater violence, weaving in anecdotes of past rivalries to justify his methods. This class could escalate if it draws in more players, like unexpected allies from the Quartermain side, forcing Sonny to reassess his alliances and the fragile peace he's trying to maintain in Port Charles. Finally, Jason Morgan seeks solace and validation from Anna Devane, admitting he's witnessed something unbelievable and needs her to confirm it's not a figment of his imagination. He describes spotting Britt Westfern alive and well at the Paris airport, a sighting backed by the unsettling fact that her cremation paperwork was never finalized. Jason has already consulted Liesel Obrecht, Britt's mother, and is certain she knows nothing of this potential resurrection, adding layers of mystery to the puzzle. Driven by a mix of hope and duty, Jason vows to pursue leads and uncover the truth behind Britt's supposed death, acknowledging that his own presumed dead status during that time might explain her silence, compounded by the pain of his brief marriage to Carly upon Sonny's return from Nixon Falls. To expand this, envision Jason and Anna poring over digital files in a secure safe house, with Anna using her WSB connections to pull strings for airport footage or encrypted records. Jason might recall subtle clues, like a familiar necklace Britt wore in Paris, fueling his determination. Meanwhile, in the luxurious Five Poppies Dalmatia resort in Dubrovnik, Britt herself faces an ominous encounter at her suite door. A mystery man with a thick foreign accent evocative of someone from her turbulent past blocks her path, declaring she's not leaving. Could he be a WSB operative linked to Jocelyn and Vaughn's revamped mission? Or perhaps a ghost from her history, like a long-lost associate with unfinished business. Britt's pulse races as she assesses escape routes, her mind flashing to hidden resort passages or a concealed phone for a distress call, turning this into a high-tension standoff that promises to intersect with Port Charles' unfolding dramas. Next, we will explore the sizzling romantic vibes heating up Port Charles this summer. spotlighting the charming duo of Lucy Coe and Martin Gray as they navigate flirtatious sparks amid the rubble of Willow Corinthos and Drew Quartermain's disastrous wedding. The vibrant streets of Port Charles are buzzing with fresh, romantic energy as the warm summer days unfold. And at the heart of it all is the delightful interplay between Lucy Coe and Martin Gray, whose witty exchanges are captivating audiences following the shocking implosion of Willow and Drew's nuptials. Remember, Maddie's sudden departure from town left a trail of heartbreak triggered by Lucy's impulsive affair with the ever-scheming Scott Baldwin, leading to months of frosty silence and unspoken regrets. But this week, their first genuine dialogue has ignited a wave of excitement among viewers, fueling speculation about a possible Maddie and Lucy revival. Yet, with deep-seated scars from past betrayals and a whirlwind of new conflicts brewing, the big question looms: can they fan these embers into a lasting flame? Or will the drama extinguish any chance of reconciliation? Picture the scene as we delve deeper into a week packed with emotional highs and lows that promise to keep you on the edge of your seat. From stolen glances to heartfelt confessions that could redefine their future. Diving right into the highlights, Lucy and Maddie's light-hearted banter at the chapel. Right on the heels of the wedding catastrophe where Willow's world crumbled upon discovering Drew's steamy entanglement with Nina Reeves, has social media ablaze with adoration. Maddie's unexpected return after his self-imposed exile felt almost destined, like the universe conspiring to bring them back together, though initially there were no warm embraces or easy reconciliations to a tentative standoff. Now, their playful jabs and nostalgic quips at the altar evoke the electric chemistry that once defined their bond. But beneath the surface, unresolved hurt simmers like a pot ready to boil over. Fans are swooning over the possibilities, imagining cozy dinners at the Metro Court where Lucy's infectious laugh draws Maddie out of his shell. Or perhaps a spontaneous dance under the stars at a summer festival, rekindling the magic they shared. However, Maddie's time away has hardened his resolve, and Lucy's charm might need to work overtime to bridge the gap. Could this be the dawn of a renewed romance? Or merely a bittersweet interlude before reality crashes in? To add a fresh twist, whispers suggest Maddie might have picked up a mysterious souvenir from his travels, like a vintage locket symbolizing lost love, which he hesitates to share, hinting at deeper secrets that could either unite or divide them further. As old wounds resurface, threatening to sabotage any shot at a fresh start, Lucy might soon find herself pulling Maddie aside for a more intimate chat, where their initial giggles give way to raw, honest discussions about the betrayal that tore them apart, specifically her infamous tryst with Scott in that rustic hayloft, which left Maddie reeling and questioning everything. Envision Lucy, her eyes sparkling with a mix of mischief and vulnerability, as she tentatively reaches out to rebuild the trust they once had. While Maddie balances on the edge of absolution and self-preservation, perhaps recalling late-night phone calls during his absence that he never answered. The path forward looks promising to optimistic viewers who envision candlelit apologies and shared dreams of a future together. Maybe even collaborating on a new business venture at Deception Cosmetics to blend their worlds. Yet, skeptics worrying about external forces at play, such as Scott's shadowy influence lingering from afar, or the meddlesome Tracy Quartermain swooping in with her sharp tongue and family loyalties, potentially stirring up trouble by dredging up old scandals or planting seeds of doubt. Inventing an intriguing layer, Tracy could stumble upon a forgotten letter from Maddie's ex, tying back to the beauty industry fiasco, forcing Lucy to confront not just her own mistakes, but the web of deceptions that entangle them. All will this interference snap the fragile thread holding their reunion together, or strengthen their resolve to fight for what they want? Eager anticipation builds as fans root for this rekindled connection to blossom into something extraordinary, pondering if their signature banter will pave the way for a genuine second chance at love. The obstacles are formidable, from the sting of Lucy's fling with Scott that shattered Maddie's world, to the fallout from Maddie's own fabrications about his former wife's role in disrupting Deception's groundbreaking launch of the Deceptor product line, which nearly tanked the company and exposed layers of deceit. General Hospital enthusiasts are vocal in their support for a Maddie and Lucy comeback, flooding forums with theories about grand gestures like Maddie surprising Lucy with a private yacht cruise along the harbor, complete with champagne toasts and heartfelt vows, or even a joint therapy session to unpack their baggage. But the deck appears stacked against them, with Port Charles' endless drama cycles threatening to pull them under. Perhaps a surprise visit from Maddie's ex could resurface, adding fuel to the fire. Or Lucy's impulsive nature might lead to another misstep that echoes her past errors. Next, we will uncover the escalating turmoil in Willow Tate's life as she grapples with the harsh realization that Drew Kane Quartermain spells nothing but trouble, all while desperately fighting to reclaim her children from the unyielding grip of Michael Corinthos. In the ever-dramatic world of Port Charles, Willow Tate is finally opening her eyes to the toxic influence of Drew Kane Quartermain, recognizing him as a destructive force that's upended her entire existence. Her primary goal now is to reunite with her beloved kids, Wiley Quartermain Corinthos and Amelia Grace Corinthos, but Michael stands as an impenetrable barrier, his protective stance showing no signs of softening. As frustrations mount, Willow's simmering anger could boil over, pushing her to seek retribution against Drew for his betrayal, and if Michael continues to deny her access, she might turn her sights on both men, orchestrating a calculated plan to expose their flaws and reclaim what's hers. Imagine Willow pacing her temporary haven, jotting down notes on past grievances, perhaps even consulting a private investigator to dig up dirt on Drew's shady dealings, adding a layer of intrigue as she weighs legal battles against more personal vendettas. This shift in her mindset marks a pivotal turning point, where the once naive Willow emerges as a force to be reckoned with. Her determination fueled by a mother's unyielding love and a growing sense of empowerment that could reshape family dynamics in unexpected ways. The recent spectacle at the altar, where Willow dramatically ended things with Drew upon discovering his scandalous affair with her own mother, Nina Reeves, was nothing short of electrifying, leaving the wedding guests and viewers in stunned silence. In the chaotic aftermath, Willow dashed to Carly Corinthos Spencer's home, her voice trembling as she pleaded with Michael to allow her even a brief moment with Wiley and Amelia, painting a picture of raw desperation amid the elegant decor of the Spencer residence. But Michael, ever the cautious guardian, firmly shut her down, citing her disheveled and frantic state as evidence she was far from stable, her eyes wild with emotion that hinted at deeper turmoil. To flesh this out with a fresh detail, perhaps Willow arrived clutching a handmade drawing from Wiley's old artwork, a sentimental token she hoped would sway Michael's heart, only for it to underscore her unraveling composure. This rejection hit hard, forcing Willow to confront the gravity of her choices and the walls closing in around her family life. The following morning brought a moment of clarity for Willow as she stirred awake in the comforting guest room at Elizabeth Weber's place, the soft morning light filtering through curtains as she processed the full extent of the disaster. She confided in Liz, drawing chilling parallels between Drew's manipulative hold over her life and the deceitful tactics of her past tormentors, Shiloh Archer and Harmony Miller, who had similarly ensnared her in webs of lies and control. This realization thrilled longtime fans, as it highlighted Willow's growth in spotting patterns of abuse, much like how Shiloh's cult-like charisma mirrored Drew's charming facade that masked ulterior motives. Willow openly acknowledged her grave error in storming Carly's house in such a manic frenzy post-wedding, admitting it only amplified Michael's doubts about her fitness as a parent. Inventing an additional element, she might have shared a vulnerable story with Liz about a nightmare reliving Shiloh's betrayals, complete with vivid details of shadowy figures and whispered deceptions, strengthening their bond as Liz offers herbal tea and words of encouragement to help Willow rebuild her shattered confidence. Michael's perspective adds another layer of complexity, as he views Willow as completely unhinged and doubts her ability to stabilize anytime soon, blinding him to the darker depths she's plummeted into on her own. While he pins much of the blame on Drew for corrupting her, Michael remains oblivious to Willow's independent spiral into questionable actions, such as her secret interference with baby Daisy that ultimately drove Sasha Gilmore from town and indirectly cost him precious time with his child. If this bombshell ever surfaced, perhaps through a leaked confession or Nina's slip-up, Michael's fury would know no bounds, potentially shattering alliances and igniting a custody war like never before. Nina, acutely aware of this ticking time bomb, has already hinted at it in tense conversations, adding suspense as she navigates her own guilt-ridden role. To expand creatively, envision Michael reflecting alone in the Quartermain study, surrounded by family photos, as he weighs consulting a child psychologist for the kid's sake, unknowingly inching closer to truths that could upend his world. Enter Rick Lansing, who stepped up to champion Willow's custody battle, offering his services pro bono, so he claims to her, though in truth, Nina is covertly footing his standard fees to avoid Willow's rejection of direct maternal aid. Rick, with his sharp legal mind and polished demeanor, can't disclose Nina's involvement, knowing it would only fuel Willow's resentment toward her estranged mother. During their strategy session in a quiet coffee shop, Rick urged patience, advising Willow to bide her time until the October hearing, where they could present a polished case with all evidence aligned like pieces on a chessboard. He emphasized the need to steer clear of Michael and the children, adhering strictly to court orders to restore her tarnished credibility, warning that any slip could doom her chances forever. "We've got to demonstrate to the judge that you're committed to the rules," Rick stressed, perhaps illustrating his point with anecdotes from past cases where patience turned the tide, injecting a sense of cautious optimism into their plan. Defying Rick's counsel almost immediately, Willow bolted from the house mere minutes after his departure, heading straight to the Grand Quartermain mansion to confront Michael once more, her pleas echoing through the opulent halls as she begged for a glimpse of Wiley and Amelia. She reminded him of his earlier ultimatum that dumping Drew was the key to regaining accessioning. This compliance would soften his stance, unaware that Drew had just been there moments prior, badgering Michael about the very same issues and leaving him in a foul mood. This ill-timed visit seems doomed from the start, with Michael's adherence to legal boundaries likely leading to a firm denial, escalating Willow's distress and potentially sparking a heated argument that draws in other family members like Tracy for unsolicited commentary. Adding a new inventive twist, Willow might arrive with a peace offering, such as homemade cookies baked in Liz's kitchen, symbolizing her efforts to prove stability, only for it to backfire amid the tension. As desperation peaks, Willow's offers take a drastic turn, proposing a reconciliation with Michael as some sort of fallback prize, only for him to rebuff her with a resolute no thanks, his expression a mix of pity and resolve. In her frantic state, she could resort to more seductive tactics, perhaps lingering too close or whispering promises of a renewed life together, testing the boundaries of their fractured history. Yet, predictions lean toward Michael standing his ground, turning her away and leaving Willow to spiral further, possibly retreating to a hidden spot in the mansion gardens to collect her thoughts and plot her next move. This rejection might even prompt her to seek unlikely alliances, like approaching Carly for insider advice, weaving in fresh elements of intrigue as the custody saga intensifies, promising more twists in the weeks ahead. Stay tuned for all the latest developments in Port Charles. Things are only getting more intense.